away from Provo, so I shot up there and hung out with him late. I was gonna go down to Little Moab, but as I was going down there, I saw this massive thunderstorm going out across the desert. And I was up here more on the hillside, mountainside. Kind of pushed up here behind a little tiny neighborhood. It has this little dirt road trail that connects to another dirt road that goes way up in the mountain. It got a little spicy from a Subaru, so I kind of like tucked in here and stayed quiet, no fire. And I literally sat out in my chair and just watched the lightning storm go out across the desert there. So I'm gonna head on down.
I should go for a run today, but it looks like it could rain.
Save on epic rain jackets at Sierra.
Thing is, I used to run
I have a rain jacket.
To TDUBFEST and see what's going on. See if anybody's shown up yet. I know Dustin might be out there, but I think he won't be in until like later this afternoon from Dorks. I don't know. I may drive an hour down to Eureka and have breakfast or something. They look like they have something better than the traditional food chain stuff that's back behind me this way. And then from there, I'll only be 10 miles from Moab. All right. Another day in the T-Dub life.
All right, going live in about, well, I'm live already, but I'm just getting all my stuff together in the background here. I got my little video playing from going to TDUBFEST, so that might be.
The route to Little Moab is back that way. But that big rain that I saw coming through last night, they basically had a work crew down there that has a bunch of work vehicles stuck on this road. And pretty much right at the area where Little Moab is. So he recommended going back out, up and around, down the other side, and back in through the bottom. And I was coming in through the top here because I was up in Cruiser Outfitters, basically Salt Lake side. I saw the storm coming in, but I wasn't thinking that this was going to be like a 25-mile long dirt road to get in this way. So I shall that's funny thing for me is how to get in here. Well, I'm going to get in here. But yeah, hopefully that's going to get out there and cook a little bit more today. And I'm going to try to find my way across the other side and see if I can get in on the other side here. Okay, folks, keep you posted. This is Mike Brennan. Copy of the Bottle Peak All-Terrain on your Subaru Outback. Because rally tires just aren't technically, well, I guess they are street legal, but they're hardcore race tires, not made for everyday use. So, I'm out here, bugging across this dirt road, trying to make a workaround. And it looks like there's only been a few vehicles across here today after last night's crazy rain. So yeah, making the diversion. They got stuck vehicles over there on the other side. So just working my way around. All part of the adventure of making it to TDUBFEST. Yeehaw! Out here in the, I don't know what part of Utah this is, but it's beautiful. I ain't mad at it at all. And you know me and gravel roads. Two peas in a pod. Alrighty. At least this road is a little
showed my daughters when we were out in the desert. It's like, look how far these things come. All right. I'll do my duty. My contribution to data cleanup service. Yeah. I am en route to TDUBFEST. Coming in a long and I just came down through there. What I hate about this road is the fact that there's these power lines. I hate traveling under power lines like this. Had I known that this would have been the power line route, I would have chose the going around the lake the other side. But once I got into it, I was into it, and there's really like, okay, I'm gonna like double back and do all that. All right, maybe this is gonna get strapped on here with the barbed wire. Okay. Underway I go somewhere. Hey folks, take a look at this right here. This is the dedication in which people are already showing up for TDUBFEST. Yeah, that's a spring on the ground. There's supposed to be this thing going across the rig that actually holds that on. I don't know how that's just like leaning up there, and then the pour tire on the back. It's kind of flat. So you see that speed flame on there? I think that's what happened. He probably hit those cattle bars down there at about 90, caught about 6 foot of air, something like that. Something like that. I don't know. It was not on tape, so we can't verify. Yeah, Sergeant Major. Boys and girls, it's TDUBFEST time. Out here in Little Moab, Utah. And, yeah, it's quite the excursion getting in here. Big thunderstorm yesterday. You can look at the ground and can't tell it, but I'm sure there's going to be some hard edge washouts on some of the trails, so we'll have to stay checked up for that. But this is what we came for. And it's Thursday. Matt and those guys are on the way. He said there's a couple guys that are already here. And I think I'm going to go take a little lap. Tire pressure is at road pressure spec, so I'm sure by the weekend here I'll be airing down and doing all that kind of good stuff. Alright, first time ever here at Little Moab, and saw a little trail over here on the side, so we'll go explore this. Turn the gas on, Rodney. Whew, okay, this place is pretty spicy. Save it for a later date. Just kind of getting the lay of the land here, checking it all out. And I guess we'll be doing a lot of trials type stuff in here. TDUB trials. This is going to be 10, 12 PSI. this is where they were talking about. Man, just all these little snot holes in here. Yeah, this is definitely a baby Moab, to say the least. Yeah. I'd get bored with this kind of riding real quick. Yeah, he said a few TW's were out here already, so maybe I'll scoot across the desert and see who we can come up with. Alright. Shift in a second. Let's do this. Oh. Rock traction for days. The rain rush back there? I don't know who that guy was. So much reminds me of Southern California deserts. Huh. Huh, yeah, huh. Looking for any little single trackers. Nice little camp right there. Nice little camp right here. I gotta get some hydration in. Come up on the Talladega 500. Clock bus. I gotta unlock my camelback. Don't want to lose that little.
Take it all! When you want junk to disappear, all
Station identification. Dang, I'm gonna be late. Getting it situated here. Hey Ryan, Higby, howdy howdy. Alright. I'm gonna get this all sorted out. I can take down the live sign now. Had to throw some charge on the phone and the batteries, all that kind of good stuff. Alright, looks pretty decent. Oh, my junk's falling out. Trying to have good audio for you guys. The lighting's okay. Let's see, I can tone down that lighting a little bit. Alright folks, GCRad1 here, Yamaha TDUB Club, and yeah, just doing a little live action on Saturday night here. I was watching Dustin's Dual Dorks live last night, so I was like, oh, alright, I'll do a little live action. And I was talking with Matt at Mob Street the other day. We're just kind of having a TDUBFEST withdrawals wrap out. That was kind of fun. But tonight, I guess what I was going to talk to you about, because I was telling Matt, like, you know, I like hats. I have lots of hats, you know, and I have to say thank you to all you guys that purchased our OG original hat. This is the hat that I made when I was in Alabama. It was okay. It's a nice Richardson hat. It's a quality hat. It was the style 312. But it's a curved build. It's not my style, and I just never have been a curved style guy. And hats for me, like, I've been wearing hats since I was a kid. Everyone wears hats, right? But anyhow, hats for me, like, they've been flat bill. What I can primarily remember is like in the early 80s, going to school in Atlanta, in the whole hip hop scene. And I had a Delta Airlines mesh back hat, but it was the perfectly flat bill. And that was just kind of, if I wasn't wearing a Kangol, either the snipers or the berets, I was wearing that white Delta Airlines hat. And I worked for Airborne Air Express at that time. My parents had a deal, we were doing Airborne, and they had curved hats, and I didn't like wearing that hat. I'd try to flatten them out, I'd stick them between bricks and books and all that kind of stuff and try to flatten those things out. And if you've known me from my days at Axial, I had super excellent hats at Axial. I made hats with some buddies of mine. It took a long time, so that's why when I got to Colorado here, I started working on new hats. And so I have to say thank you to all you guys that have purchased these hats. So basically, the money I made with these hats bought these hats. More hats. I just took the money and invested it back into the little brand. And of course, you know, the stickers, oh man, t-shirts, patches. The first item I ever made was a patch, but this was the second patch. Yeah, on the website. But yeah, I have to say massive thank you guys to all of you that have purchased the TDUB Club stuff, the goods. But these hats come in different color combinations, because, you know, you can't just be rocking the same old colors, right? So yeah, just, you know, doing the do. And then you guys recently saw me put these guys on the website. Like, come on now. Like, some of you guys don't like camo. You don't do camo. So I made a flat, you know, just a solid black. It's not flat black, but I guess you could call it flat black because it's not too shiny. But a flat bill hat. And why flat bill hats for me? Because I wear glasses and the hat fits above my glasses. It didn't wrap down very well over my glasses. I just never have liked hats with curved bills. I don't know. It's just the way it is. Yeah, just a side note here. This is a shout out to my man, John, who is in the city, San Francisco. I was there a couple weeks ago. CENTO Coffee House. Look him up on Instagram. He's SF Coffee Assembly, or just to go check out one of his shops in the city. But he was my roommate during college, and we're both Yamaha fans. And you can see he did his interpretation of the speed blocks with his logo when he just sent me a little package. His coffee is excellent, and he's not a newbie getting to the coffee game. He's been doing coffee for like 15 years, so maybe 20 years, I don't know. He's been doing it for a long time. Yeah, so tonight, kind of what I wanted to get into is just hats, because I like hats. Like, I bought this hat. It's an Arc'teryx hat. And if you know anything about Arc'teryx, then you know. But anyhow, this hat is like super tech because it's like lightweight. And what's really cool is it's got this like little cutout feature right here. You can see where your head, it just has this cool feature where you don't feel the brim cutting into your head. So, I don't know. And it's a flat bill. I hadn't even worn this hat yet. I just bought it because I liked it, and you know, I'm always looking at the technical aspects of hats. So, yeah, and two, like, I've only been here in Colorado Springs for a couple of years now. Been so busy working on the house, but yet somehow I collect these hats. I have boxes and boxes of hats that are still in Alabama. I got to make a trip back there, hopefully in the near future, but I still got just tons and tons of stuff back home that I got to get out here. But anyhow, switching gears, my boys at KANGOL'S, yeah, it's a curved brim, but they tossed it in when I got my cooler from them. You saw me using the KANGOL'S when I was out there for TDUBFEST. I literally packed my ice into the cooler, I think it was Thursday before the event, and my stuff stayed cool all the way to Monday morning when I left and re-iced and headed home. So KANGOL'S, thank you very much. That's super good. Here's another hat. I picked this one up. I think it's MELIN or MERLIN, I can't remember, but there's their logo. Cool hat. It's kind of like a 5-panel with a mesh back. This is more of your new techie tech hats. It's super cool. It's kind of heavy, and what I do like about it is for people that are right-handed, it has that little logo right there where you're gonna grab your hat on and off, grabbing your thumb on that logo right there. So that was a pretty cool little feature. I don't know, I liked it. It was cool. Hey, Ryan, can you give me a check and let me know that my audio's doing good here, man? Just want to make sure. Sorry, I should have tested that out beforehand. Give me a thumbs up in the comments there, please, sir. This hat, Patagucci hat. I don't know, man. It's just funny, you know. People like look at it and they're like, "Wait, what? It's not." Yeah, exactly. Got to play with the brands, man. I remember the website I got this hat, but I don't remember it. But yeah, if you look hard, you might find it. AKA, learn how to use Google. Alright, this next hat. Let's see. It's called DEADCELL. Why can't I get in front of the camera? There you go. DEADCELL. Note the plus minus. Plus is dead. Cool little streetwear brand. Super artist tip out of LA. I don't know. I liked it, and it's a 5-panel. My daughters, they like it. It's a cool hat, black on black with a raised embroidery. Like, yeah. All right, next hat. I was at Overland Expo. This was a giveaway hat, freebie hat. Cadence. Yes, I'm into pedaling. I can't help it. If you know anything about the cycling community, bicycling, not the motorcycling, but the bicycling community, then yeah, you know what's up with this. And yeah, mountain bikes, motos to go together. Like, look at Eli Tomac. His father is John Tomac, super OG, super downhill, well, like everything mountain bike guy from the early 80s, one of my OG heroes. Next door to them is Greg Herbald, who's our 1984 world champion in mountain biking. And we didn't have a new mountain bike world champion until like 2015, 16, somewhere around in there, when Aaron Gwynn came on the scene. So yeah, like, I'm into cycling. I started BMX in the early days. I had a BMX shop in high school in Birmingham, Alabama, and we closed the shop when it was time for me to go to college and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, man, I'm mad into cycling, as well as motos. Like, I think my parents were saying, like, yeah, I learned how to ride a bicycle, and then 2 weeks later is when I got my motorcycle, Yamaha JT1. I got my dog and my motorcycle on the same Christmas. Named my dog Yamaha. Yep. Oh yeah, here's a fun one. Gotta rock this one. Got the flats down on the Carhartt style. Like, I've been wearing Carhartt for a very long time. It's been such a fashion brand for a lot of people, but yeah, you know what's up. If you know what's up, you know what's up. If you know what's up, Carhartt. KONA bicycles, yeah, I got a couple of them. Like I said, I ride, I pedal. Thank you, Pedals Bike Shop. My man Jason over there, he's rocking bicycles, RC, and yeah, and he's in the moto as well. And now he's in the Volkswagen vans. What a nut that guy is, but I love him. That was my TDUB benefactor. He's one of the guys that I started the TDUB club with right there in Southern California. Since Jason's getting all back into the whole car scene and everything, let me throw this one on for you. Ooh, what do you know about some MINITRUCKIN? Yes, this is an OG MINITRUCKIN magazine hat from back in the day. I used to be friends with that whole staff over there. I was in the MINITRUCKIN, had my 83.5 Datsun Nap Z head. I think it was Datsun, yeah, it was a Nissan on the tailgate, but on the bottom it said by Datsun, and it was the 83.5 year, because the tail light and the turn signal light were the same size. And then when they went 84, it was the small reverse light, and then one color stoplight. So when I was in San Francisco, I picked this doozy up from my man John at CENTO Coffee. So I brought this one home. He was in a thrift store, saw this one, thought of me, and yeah, I brought it home. And then just recently, in the package that he sent me, he put this jammy right here on me. Like, he knows I'm a Yamaha nerd, and obviously he's a Yamaha nerd too. And yeah, this is super OG, super classic, man. Like, oh my goodness. If I would have had this at TDUBFEST, it would have been over with. Okay, so this brings me to the next point. Like, I wasn't planning on having this one ready right now. I was talking to Matt at Mob Street, and I was telling him, like, yo, get ready, man. It's about to happen. But okay, so going back to my man Ears 77, old skater. He was in my magazine back in the day, also from the Bay Area. But anyhow, he works for a company that does hats. He's the guy that did all my hats when I was at Axial, and maybe a couple other places. But oh man, today I was supposed to get this thing up online, but I didn't. I've been too busy working on the house, too busy editing videos for TDUBFEST. I'm trying to get that stuff finished up and everything. Man, look at this hat, dude. I'm like looking at myself over here. This hat's just screaming OG goodness right here. Okay, so anyhow, bear with me because I'm about to show you guys something because I just got them in yesterday. Super excited. Wasn't expecting to get them until October, I wasn't expecting to get them until like late November or December. I was thinking like, yeah, this is going to be a January release. But the cold weather blew in this weekend, and let me just sneak this on you. Look at that right there. TDC, what does that stand for? TDUB Club. Oh yeah. Man, it's hard to navigate in front of the camera with this little lens. But anyhow, let me just bring it on around. Yeah. Look at that goodness right there. I'm trying to make legit gear for us folks. Like this hat right here is as legit as it gets. It is the real deal. Like look, it's got the matching snapback dad hat style 5-panel flat bill. Let me model it for you because this is gonna be my new one. But yeah, right there, look at that mess. Yep. TDUB Club, what's up? Alright, let me do a quick rundown here. I got my black line. Hello, Ryan Higby, I said hello to you. Ansley, Brian, you farted. When did I fart? Okay. Oh, maybe it's this chair. I heard some noises out of it early. Anyhow, SP Rancho, Ryan Higby. Yeah. Ansley, Brian, you should be riding with me. I fart all the time. It's natural human. I'm uncorked, and maybe with an expansion chamber. All right, well, I'll keep it going on here. But look for this on the website. I'll have this bad boy up tomorrow at least, just maybe with like a screen capture, a quick photo, and then I hit it now and go at it from there. Yeah, so on. This is it's my little work hat, garden hat, desert hat, get it all done hat. I actually have a North Face, a much thinner one. It stays on my moto. It lives like on the just above the crossbar pad, stuffed in between the handguards and the handlebar and the turn signal indicator marker. But it lives there. I always want a hat on my moto. You never know, you know, if you stop, you take your helmet off. The sun here in Colorado is brutal. I'm at 7,200 foot here at my house. It's 6,200 foot at my work, and we don't get into the trees until 9,200 foot, and then 10,000 foot you're above the tree line, so you no trees up there. So yeah, gotta have a hat with you at all times and in any circumstances. Now, I just kind of threw this down here. Oh yeah, look, matchy, gotta be matching, right? No, I won't be matching because pretty much everything else on my kit is like blue and yellow. I'm running the Clem pants and jersey. You probably see my tore up jersey in all the videos. But anyhow, I'm not going to be rocking any more 100% goggles or gloves. And right now, I made my first move out of the 100%, and I'm going to be going with the MSR Malcolm Smith. Now, I will tell you this. I wear a size large glove. I purchased size large gloves. Now, why did I purchase these gloves in particular? Let me tell you which gloves they are in particular. These are the Frost Moto glove, and it's that time of the year here, folks. It gets chilly. Even though I got hippo hands, and I love my hippo hands, and what I've done is with the hippo hands, I can just have like a fairly light glove and stay warm using the hippo hands and these type of gloves. The 100% gloves that I was using, they're yellow and faded now, and they got holes in them. I think it's called their Brisker, but it has like this like really light, not neoprene, but it's a thicker foam than normal. And so when I saw MSR have these gloves, I'm like, okay, that could be a complete replacement of my 100%ers. Now, I will say, I purchased the large, and I'm going to have to send these back and get a size XL. And luckily, when you order stuff through Rocky Mountain ATBMC, you get one free shipping back and forth on any size, you know, yada yada yada. So I'm gonna send these back and get the next size up, because when I put them on, they're just a little tight, and I don't like my gloves too tight. And where I'm filling them tight, like this area right in here, like that's what's gonna hit the handlebar grip first. And you can see, like when I hit in there, it's pulling on it. There's a little bit of tightness there, and I would like it a little lighter. It's tight around this area here, and I feel a little bit of tightness in my fingers here. And yeah, they will probably break in, loosen up, and stretch out, but I mean, the tip size and everything is kind of spot on. I don't know. I have to give this some thought. I need to wear them around in the yard, do a ride on the moto, and see if they loosen up. But I'm a little bit nervous here when you expand the hand out. Like you just don't have a whole lot of give in there. I'm on the fence still. Don't know. But this is what I'm going to be rocking this winter in conjunction with my hippo hands, is these MSR Frost Moto Glove. Brop, 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 brop. Be working that front brake, working that clutch. Yeah. All right. So who else we got on here? SP Rancho. How you doing? The Yamaha logo would look great on your bike. Yeah, I need to put some more stickers on my moto. That's a funny subject, because you know I love stickers. I'm the sticker king, man. I got stickers. I've collected stickers for how many years? I got shoe boxes of stickers. I got shoe box of stickers from my 70s skateboarding. I got shoe boxes, maybe a couple of them, from my BMX in the 80s. I got shoe boxes when I was working in the snow skate and surf industry in the late 80s, 2000s, late 90s. Yeah, late 80s to 90s. And then I just collected stickers all along. But yeah, my T-Dub, I had stickers on my T-Dub when it was all blue. My front fender was all covered. And but when I got the Mayer plastic in all white, I don't know, I was just like, ooh man, like it's all white. And yeah, I need to get into some stickers on my moto. But I was actually watching a Yamaha motorsport video today, and looking at their bikes being all blue, I kind of wished I would have stayed with the blue. Gotta stay tight with the blue crew, man. You know, Yamaha, those are my peeps since I was 5 years old. So maybe I'll go back to the blue color scheme, but yeah, I'll most likely sticker up my T-Dub. Like I was actually I was gonna take a bunch of my T-Dub stickers and just make a collage on my tank before TDUBFEST, but I did not, because I was too busy trying to get everything ready and together. But yes, thank you, duly noted. I need stickers on my T-Dub. I got stickers on my crossbar pad, but yeah, I know it's not enough. But yeah, man, thank you, SP Rancho, for pointing that out. Looks like a dual Dorks hat. You better believe it, because I'm a newly inducted member into the dual Dorks. It's funny hanging out with Dustin at TDUBFEST has been a long time coming for me and him getting together. Like, we've been following each other online for like 3 years now. Like, when I was in California, we were trying to hook up with him. Like, I was in Southern California out by the coast, and he's way up in the high desert, and for some reason we just couldn't get our timing together. He got to ride with my buddy Nick till death do a sport, and I was super jealous about that. And but yeah, I guess great things come in great timing. But when I saw that he was going to TDUBFEST, I was like, all right, cool, I gotta get out there and meet this cat. I hadn't met Matt at Mob Street either. We've been talking online for, you know, quite a few years as well. But yeah, Dustin and I kind of hit it off, and riding wise, we're very parallel. You know, sometimes we can just be putting along and smelling the flowers, and next time, you know, like, we're like kicked up in the high gear and squirting across the desert, and, you know, got our little T-dubs bouncing off rocks. So yeah, riding with Dustin was a lot of fun, and we're very similar in our types of riding that we like to do. So yeah, Dustin that's what I was gonna say. So when Dustin started his dual Dorks video like group, it was just him and his group of friends, and they were just gonna share their videos with them, and his kind of group kind of went elsewheres, and he's kind of doing his thing. And when I started YAMAHA TDUB Club, it was literally 13 of us that took like 13 T-dubs off the used market within like 3 weeks or something, and we did our first ride, and we had like 22 guys come out for that first event, and that's where we met Nick from Till Death Do a Sport, which was super rad, because where I lived in Costa Mesa at that time, Southern California, and Saddleback was like, I could ride to Saddleback from my house. Granted, it was like 24 miles before I touched dirt, but Nick literally lived on the other side of the mountain. So it was rad having him on the other side, because I'd call him and be like, yeah, what's the weather like? Hey man, like, let's meet up. And yeah, so we got to ride. Like, Nick became my riding buddy in SoCal when things just kind of started spreading out. Like, I'll say my man Jason at Pedals Bike Shop, he and I, like, after that first ride is when we're like, man, there's so many dudes out here, and this is so cool. Like, we had guys that we didn't even know come out. Like, we got to start something up. And it was kind of an idea at that point, but I think when I switched my job from Axial, and my wife was working at that time, and she's like, hey, you've been working your whole life, like, I got you. You can kind of take a little bit of a break. But of course I didn't take a break. I actually went to work at Gustin Motorsports. They knew I was a customer there, hung out there quite a bit, and they're like, hey, not for nothing, if you want to like kind of come and, you know, play wrench monkey and, you know, do that kind of thing, like, come hang out. And I told them, like, yeah, but you just got to know that my schedule could like break at any moment, and I got to go do this or do that. And that, you know, perfect example is I'll say like 2019, a buddy of mine that used to be the publisher at Transworld, you know, snow skate surf magazine back in the day. When I was doing my magazine, you know, we knew each other from there. I was doing some side work for those guys. They were helping me out a little bit, and but anyhow, we kind of kept up online. And 2019, I get a phone call and say, like, hey, in 2 weeks, man, can you come to Florida and handle IMSA, you know, the Endurance Motorsport Series? Like, can you handle their social media for the weekend? They kind of like lost their social team. And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty deep. I'm like, I can't do 24 hours by myself. I need a partner. So my man John Kerry, I grabbed him and we went and, you know, basically did all of the IMSA's social for that weekend for the big race. So anyhow, yeah, like not until after Axial did I really get serious about doing TDUB Club. I needed to stay current with social media. It's a tool that you have to stay on, stay current with. And if I'm going to be going on interviews to try to get back into the real workforce, you know, and I was trying to move out of my current industry. So I was like, if I'm going to be talking to any of these people, they're going to need to see that I'm doing something other than what I used to do, even though I was doing social media for that company as well, or running, you know, marketing, social media. It's all the same thing in my book. But anyhow, yeah. So anyhow, I started TDUB Club and got a lot more serious about it when I was out of Axial and just trying to stay current with social media platforms in case I went to work for another company. And through all that, I've known Travis of every single Sunday since he was like 16 or 17. And he's literally the guy that says, here, take this, you know, So Pro mounts and put it on your helmet, get you a GoPro and just start filming. And so he literally kind of lit the spark under me to start the YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. Am I as good as him about all this stuff? Like, no, he's much more professional, but at the same time, like, I'm super ghetto deluxe, man. I'm using house lights over here with, you know, 8.5 by 11 paper taped over it to kind of diffuse it, and I just haven't had the money that I've had in my previous work life and stuff. So just making things happen. Whatever. Blah blah blah. All right. So SP Rancho, I'm a recent subscriber and just spotted your live stream. Oh, Waco, Texas. Heck yeah, man. Thank you, thank you. And Superman, did you watch Smallville as a kid? Please answer no. No one else has answered me. Oh, Smallville. All right, dude. Like, I'm older. I don't even know what Smallville is. Like, and I'm not good at consuming other shows. I'm like, yeah, I was watching Simpsons, but I was already out of college, and we were the t-shirt printing company that was printing some of those shirts. So I bought one of the first ever Bart Simpsons with a skateboard shirt that ever came out. After that, yeah, no, I haven't been. I grew up on Scooby-Doo and Charlie Brown and Smallville. I'll have to look that one up. I don't even know what it is. And growing up in Alabama too, like, my TV was like limited, like on any Sunday, the Bruce Brown film about moto. Like, when I saw that, it was not until I was grown up as an adult in Southern California. Like, I knew Bruce Brown through, I was working for O'Neill, the wetsuit. So Endless Summer and Endless Summer 2, I actually had t-shirts in Endless Summer 2 because Wingnut, who was the star of that film, he was wearing some of my t-shirts and that. So I knew Bruce Brown from there and found out about the On Any Sunday, and I saw that and I'm like, oh my God, that's my life. It opens with those kids riding BMX bikes, and then it shows that big fat dude that's like riding this tiny mini bike. Well, that tiny mini bike was my JT1, but growing up, you know, Burt Lawwell, watching all the road racing, and or actually flat tracking. I'm thinking about things and saying things. Anyhow, watching that film was basically, man, had I seen that as a kid, that would have been something else. But if you have not seen On Any Sunday, it was filmed in the 60s or whatever, but Bruce Brown is considered the godfather of action sports because, you know, he was the first guy that filmed all this stuff. He filmed, you know, the moto and the surfing, and, you know, I don't know his whole catalog, but the crazy thing is when I started rallying in 98, 99, it was at the Rim of the World rally, and they were talking about all the people that were there, and they're like, in the crowd we have, well actually not just in the crowd, but racing is Bruce Brown. And I'm like, oh my God. They said, yeah, Bruce Brown, you know, on any Sunday, endless summer, yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Like, I'm going to be racing in the same race as this guy. And then what's even gnarlier is the guy that was prepping his car and maintaining his car for him was Mike Welch of Road Race Engineering out of Huntington Beach. And so I knew Mike from my magazine time doing my magazine, so I'm over there hanging out with him, and I'm just like, oh, this is just so crazy to be hanging out with these cats and having, you know, just the connections I've had with them, not through the direct connection, but you know, my t-shirts being in the video. And they weren't my t-shirts, it was t-shirts I did for O'Neill. But you know, you get super proud of that kind of stuff. Like when we went to the theater to see Endless Summer 2 opening, like me and my coworker were like, yeah man, like look, our t-shirts are in the video. Like, that was cool. So yeah, that's another story. See what happens when you ask me about that kind of stuff. All right, so that looks like pretty much everybody. Kendra Bowman. All right, how you doing? Thank you very much for tuning in. So it looks like I've gone through everyone and gave everyone a shout out who's logged in here. So I really don't have anything else. Oh, I was going to mention, like, if you deep dive on my YouTube page, I used to do these like monthly TDUB reports. It was kind of like hey, here's what's happening in the TDUB world this month, and I would just kind of go through and peruse all the YouTube videos and kind of do a little spotlight and shout these dudes out and stuff. And I really missed doing that because it was great seeing what everyone else is doing, and it was just kind of fun to do. And I had the time. Time is such a super valuable thing these days, but I don't have that kind of time anymore. I'm back to working full time, and this house that we're in, it's been a long process in that just this week, the third time they've replaced the floor downstairs. Like, the first time it was the manufacturer defect, second time it was bad installation, and this third time they actually sent out their best crew, and hopefully that'll be the last time. But it was funny, I was just looking at, you know how like when you're on your phone and it pops up, this time last year, my house is literally in the same position that it was last year. No refrigerator in the house, no oven in the house, all the furniture's out of the house, the toilet is on the back porch, the sink is in the garage, my garage space is all super compact because that's where the refrigerator went and everything else. Today I started, you know, when these guys finish, it's like dust and everything, so I have to wipe down the walls, wipe down the windows, wipe down the floor. You gotta take the vacuum cleaner and vacuum out all the vents. I'm not complaining. I'm like a homeowner. I'm not owned it yet. It's not paid off. I'll be working and doing this for the rest of my life. But when you do work and you have to undo your work for somebody else's work that they did, and literally, like, I had baseboards down. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So I'm at that point again right now where I get to go back and start putting all this stuff back together, and hopefully this will be the last time. Now, granted, we learned last summer, that no more working on the house in the summer, not big projects, because last summer I missed all the weekends of like camping and wheeling and, you know, just going out with my wife and having fun. Like, all that was missed. So we said this summer, not doing that. So when the flooring situation came up, we're like, yep, no, we're gonna push that out and we'll deal with it later on. And we picked the perfect time because it literally like went cold this past week, and I wanted to go ride today, but on Tuesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I was taking out the wall oven and the wall cabinet. I took the refrigerator out, I think that day as well, or maybe that was the day before. But anyhow, I kind of tweaked my back, and like I've been motoing hard. Like I've been knocking out some 100-mile days. Like after TDUBFEST, I came back, and yeah, there was 2 more weekends where I just was doing 100-mile days. So trying to just get it all in. And this weekend, today would have been just, well, I don't know how cold it would have been up there. It's 55 at the house here today. So it may have been maybe tops 45 up there. Tomorrow will be nice. Maybe I'll sneak out, I don't know. But I got so much work to do and so much stuff to do that I need to kind of get back to working on the house and all that kind of good stuff. So, yeah. All right. So, I think that's going to be it for tonight, folks. Like, I hope you guys are enjoying. Oh, I'll say this about the TDUBFEST videos. I had a blast out there. And if you were out there, sorry I didn't ride with you guys as much as I feel like I should have. I was being a little selfish, but I wanted to like knock down as many miles as possible, scout out as much as possible, because as you saw, Matt of Mob Street, this was his first year doing this event, and he didn't get to ride at all. He was so busy playing host, and I'm like laughing the whole time, because I know that position. When I was working at Axial, I had my Axial Fest event, and that was from 2011 to 2018. When you do these events, when you're the host or the director of the event or whatever, you don't get to participate in the event. You're doing all the behind the scenes stuff and or all the upfront stuff, organizing everything, maintaining all the people. My Axial Fest event was huge. I had a staff of 14 and a volunteer staff that kept us at, like, I had like 50 people, and but it was a 440 acre campground, and we had 2,500 people. It turned into a week long. It started with 2 days, you know, in 2010 or 11. Started with 2 days. We'd show up on Friday, and each year it just like turned into more and more and more and more. And so yeah, like that weekend I was just like laughing because I didn't have to work, and I saw poor Matt like, hey, hi, how you guys doing? You know, and I love doing all that stuff. But I wasn't mandated to do it. So my thought is like, okay, next year, Matt's going to need more help. We're going to be looking for guys to lead beginner groups. We're going to be looking for guys to lead intermediate groups. We're going to be looking for guys to lead more advanced loops. And I can ride beginner loops. But I'd probably start a beginner loop in the morning and another one in the afternoon, because I'm going to ride 3 loops on those days. But I know that was one thing that I heard a lot of people saying is like they wanted a little bit more organized loops. And so that Sunday, Dustin and I, we really rode that day, and we found some really incredible stuff. Now we just got to figure out how to, you know, it's not going to be beginner loops. Well, there is a part that could be a beginner loop, but a beginner loop that if you want to get a 50-mile day down, if you're not doing 50-mile days, we have a loop that we can get you a 50-mile crack in, and it'll be a spectacular view. Not going to reveal any locations because we want it to be special, but it's going to be a year in the building and making. So, we found some other spectacular stuff that was just like, oh my God, like we're in the desert over here, and next thing you know, we're like up in these trees, and yeah, it was super incredible. And after Dustin even left on Sunday, I went back and redid a lap that we did and tried to find an easy way. Like I can get you all the way up into this section and beautiful, but the descent is like, people are not going to be excited about that descent. That'll be an advanced section only. But I want to get other, you know, the intermediates and maybe some of the beginners over there, but I gotta find an easy way to get them off that mountain. And I tried a couple other routes, and I just wasn't finding anything. And going out that other way is just gonna add that much more miles, and that gets kind of tough. So that loop may well just be an advanced loop, and yeah, that was so cool. Like the first time I went down it, my camera wasn't working, and I was watching Dustin's video, his like I think it's his last day video or the recap video, and he's filming me going down it, and I'm like, yes. But I went back. I went back on Sunday, so it won't be till my Sunday video, and I got to film it. I shot, like, this one's for you, Dustin. Like, I went back and wrote it again. But then also too, like, my videos tend to be long. I've talked to guys over and over, and I'm like, do you like them short? Do you like them long? And a lot of guys is like, hey man, just give us the long stuff. We are cooped up in the house. We can't ride. You know, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Maybe they watch it in the wintertime only and play them. But I have technically ran into a situation where I don't think I will be able to do anything more than 30 minutes now. My poor little computer here, it's a 2017 MacBook that was technically my wife's computer, so it never had the RAM or operating speed to begin with to even do all this stuff. But I've been making it work, and every time I'm on, I have to strip everything off. Just, yeah, it's so much. But something happened this past, I got that one big hour-long video out of it, and when I was getting ready to do the Friday video, I literally had to split it in half, download the first half. I had to redo the second half, which will be going live tomorrow evening at about 5:30 p.m. I believe, 5 or 5:30, but p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Colorado. But yeah, none of my videos are going to be pretty much longer than 30 minutes now, because my computer just isn't doing it. So hopefully, if everyone buys enough hats and stuff from me, that's going to be my next purchase, is I got to buy a proper computer if I'm going to keep editing these videos. And yeah, I would love to buy studio lighting and better lighting, and heck, I'm using my daughter's microphone. I'm on a GoPro Hero 7 and I'm one of those guys. I'm not complaining. I'm one of those guys, like, I just want the technology to work, and I'm gonna use it all the way to the end until it don't work anymore. Like, to me, it's about the content, not about the ultra sharp, like, I don't know. I don't need a red camera. I like a red camera. I can't afford a red camera. If I could afford a red camera, would I put it on my TDUB? Nah, that's not practical. But is there something better than a Hero 7? Like, what are you guys using? Dustin went to a DJI, and other guys are using other things. I don't know if the GoPro Hero 10 is going to give me anything better. But then the problem when I do that, now I got to sit down and watch all these YouTube videos and learn how to set that thing up and make it film. The only problem I have with my stupid GoPro Hero 7, this is literally my only problem. It's one button to select between 3 different modes: photo, time-lapse, or video. And that literally drives me nuts. I literally have to hit the button, look in my mirror, and like, oh, okay, is it video? Is it time-lapse? And not every time do I get to do that, because I'm riding along and see something cool and just like hit go. Yeah, so it's always that random thing. If GoPro could just like lock the mode, like, I just want to shoot video. Like if I want to shoot photos, I'll stop and take my stupid phone off and record with that, you know, shoot a photo with that. That's typically what happens. But I don't need my GoPro going in the time-lapse mode or going, and it's literally, and I don't have it here, and I'm just complaining. But here's my thing. I just want the technology to work and be super simple. And that's why I will generally go without the higher end stuff, because I'm still over here. I know how to make it work and work with what I got and go at it. But with everything that's happening in this whole deal, like if I'm going to keep doing this, I do need some better equipment. But right now, you know, my roadblock hurdle that I'm coming up to is the computer itself is starting to become my limiting factor, to the point to where like I can't just put out the video that I want timeline wise. And you know, maybe this will be a creative change for me to make shorter videos, but you're gonna have to string them together. And I'm working full time, so this is also the computer I use for work. So that's another situation. And yeah, so that's why I don't come out with as many videos as I would like to now, because yeah, I'm just trying to at least do the one a week. You know, that's why, that's part of why I did this, is if I shoot a hat video and blah 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 and all that, I gotta shoot, edit, and go back, and I ain't got time to do that. I hit the button on this, we go live, we go at it from there, and giddy up from there. So yeah, it's just like a T-Dub. It's not technologically advanced, it's just a good old T-Dub, and it just, you hit the start button, you kick start it, but it just keeps firing and going on. It's not pretentious, it's not high combustion. It's probably an 8-to-1 compression, I don't know, but it just works with very minimal input. It's not like a KTM where you gotta carry your tools all the time and you gotta tune and adjust and yada yada yada. Sorry, I'm making fun of KTMs. I've had one before. I like them. Look, I'm rocking the orange. But yeah. All right, okay. I'm rambling now, because you know I'm the Southern storyteller. Okay, once again, thank you guys for all of your support. I'm not buying, you know, Lambos. I'm not buying Yamaha YZ250's, which is a funny subject. My two co-workers both have 2-stroke KTM 300s. I rode my boss's KTM 300. I do not need a 300, but I would like a 200. And then when I was hanging out in San Francisco with my old roommate, he's rocking a Yamaha it200, 1983 it200. And what I like about the IT model, has a headlight, has a tail light, it's a 2-stroke. And here in Colorado, I just need the lightest bike I can get that has enough power to get me up and down these big hills. Yeah, I'm really, like, it's like, and you'll see, like last weekend when I rode with my buddy George. We started with my boss, his bike had some issues, he went back home. So my man George can ride, he can outride me, he's a beast. I rode my T-Dub so hard, I rode the socks off that thing. I've never pushed the T-Dub so hard. And I'm just afraid, like, I'm gonna break the frame. I'm gonna like do something that's not good. Like, I should not be riding this bike this way. So I, in theory, would like to have, if I want to ride with my guys, I need to not be riding the TW200. They should all get TW200's. That's the real deal, but I know that's not practically going to happen. That's not, you know, converting guys to T-Dubs is, that's a special thing, and they're not old enough or ready for T-Dubs, or they're not young enough to be starting out. They're at that point in their life where they just want the best machine that they can get. and I get that, I understand that, but you know, could I do it with an XT225? Yeah, I need to look at the weight. Like, to me, it's going to be all about the magic P2WR, the power to weight ratio. I need the lighter than a T-Dub and not maximum power. I don't need a 300. I think a 200 would be just fine. So yeah, that's where my dreams are. Not that I'm like, it could be 2 years. Like, I got too many other projects. I got too many things to be doing, to be thinking about all that. But that's the kind of stuff that's fun to actually think through this stuff. And like, what would it be? What would be the ultimate Yamaha 2-stroke? And when I started doing my KTM, like, I had a quiver. It was a KTM 950 Adventure, Honda XR 400. I had the ATK 605, and I was like, ooh man, like, I could really see putting the KTM 690 in this quiver. Ooh, oh, and I had the XR 100's too, because my daughters were riding those. Yeah, my garage was packed back then. And so it's always interesting, like, if your T-Dub is going to be your base moto, I mean, yeah, I could use a little 110 pit bike. That'd be a lot of fun. But from up there, like XT225, that's Yamaha's other dual sport. That could be cool. But here in Colorado, like, I could go with the it200, and technically I should be able to get it street legal. It has headlight and tail light. Just slap some Cherby's turn signals on it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of guys here have 2-stroke street legal bikes here. So I need to do that before that forever ends. Like my XR 400, when I was in Southern California, it was plated. Like, I had a plate, and it made it past the 2007 era when they kicked out like a lot of XR 400s out of the system. Mine was still plated. So while that's still available here, I would really like to do that. I think. I don't know. But I'm just playing around with it. It's just something fun to fill the void in your head of like, that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of fun. What other Yamaha would I consider? I mean, I'm not buying a new moto. There's just no, I could buy 3 other bikes. Well, the price of a new one. So I kind of like the IT. I could rock it. Well, not with these guys, but you know, the Yamaha DT175, that's my OG, that's the bike I grew up on. Big fat seat, that'd be fun. But I don't think that bike would be suitable for the kind of riding that I'm doing with these guys. I think the IT 200 could be a good candidate. And yeah, it's probably going to take some extra work. Yeah, I'm going to have to heavy up the flywheel and do all that. I don't know. Good fun stuff to think about. But if you guys have any ideas as to what would be the ultimate arsenal to add to your Yamaha collection, centered around the T-Dub, then just comment down there and let me know. Cheaper the better. And I like street legal because I'm only 12 miles from the dirt, so I can, in theory, ride from here to the dirt and to the trails. But when I ride with my dudes, we're loading them in the rigs and going, so street legal's not all that mandatory. So, okay, well, I have rambled on enough. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming out to TDUBFEST. Thank you guys for watching the TDUB videos. Hopefully you guys come out to TDUBFEST next year and we'll get a lot of riding done. And hope you guys are having fun riding your T-Dubs in your own backyard spaces and places. Yeah, massive thank you guys. All right. Tomorrow I'll have it up on the website. Over now.